I'm Joe, this is Dave, this is Javier, and that's Ben. We are working on Project Farm, and it is a first-person farming game made in Unity. We want to make a game where you could raise crops and livestock and forage around the environment, while also expanding your farm and dealing with market conditions in a sort of real-life sense.
So far, we have a lot done. We have the entire first-person controller all set. We have the layout for the environment, so the elevation, the forest, that kind of thing. We have the calendar and clock system all set, where 1 real-life second is a minute in the game, 60 minutes in the game is an hour in the game, and 24 hours in a day, 10 days in a season, and 4 seasons in a year. The sleeping system, so let's say you are done with all your things for the day and you're out of stamina. So you go ahead and go to sleep, and that'll bring all your stamina back, and then maybe it's time for you to water your crops again. So that system's all working. And obviously the stamina system's working. Eating crops by sacrificing what you would normally make in currency for selling your crops, you instead can get stamina back, and then use that stamina to do other chores that might get you even more money, or you can sleep or just do nothing and it'll slowly come back. We have your inventory system, pretty simple. You can grow crops. We have plots of land, and you plant seeds, water them, till the soil. There's going to be fertilizer eventually. We have the market system, although there's a lot of problems with it right now. And we have a couple 3D models of our tools done, and we just bought a pen for our artist, so he's going to start doing a ton of 3D models. We have rough chicken AI, so our first livestock AI, and then we can pick up flowers like little collectibles. So
so far, we're still sometimes running into weird Unity edge cases and things that are not well documented, but we work around that and fix it. The market system doesn't work very well yet. There's a problem with the way it talks to the inventory. It's not so well designed, so right now when we sell tomato seeds, you end up with more...
tomatoes?
No, yeah, so you sell tomato seeds and you get a tomato, which makes no sense. But yeah, we probably need to rework that and see how it takes into the inventory better. We need to add all the textures and models that the artist makes for us once we have that. And we still have a really good going when we're using Unity. Back towards the other project, we added a label, like a blue label on screen to get our crosshair. That's a baseball ball. We cannot remove it. We don't know how. We've tried everything, but we'll get trying. So that's the silly part for it. And then things that we have left to do with our chickens. We actually already have chickens, but they're just boxes running around on the cave. And they lay eggs, but those are just years. So, but we are going to be adding some sort of AI, some sort of property in chickens. Cows, we need to have upgradable land and tools. Right now we just have one type of land and one type of tool. Fix the market system and make it actually better and usable. Weather patterns just could affect the crop in a negative, positive way depending on your luck. The ability to save the game, because right now you start the game and you cannot exit it unless otherwise you lose everything. We'll put it online. Because we're using Unity, you can actually export this to pretty much everything. You can have like PC, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, web player, Flash. Some of those will be very slow, like Flash, but you can pretty much play this game on everything once it's finished. And we need to add all the assets that the artist makes, and of course to have music and stuff.
Is it going to be multiplayer? Like interaction?
Maybe later. I actually haven't looked at multiplayer Unity than in about
You have to basically build it in structure your code.
Yeah, it's not.
Unity has networking, but it's peer-to-peer usually, I think. Not really severe.
anyone else?
Demo.
Yeah, do you have anything you can kind of show off or point to at this stage? I know you don't have the art.
I could load up the game if you want. It would take a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's a lot of boxes. Yeah.
How did the chicken AI work? How does the rough chicken AI work?
It just kind of randomly chooses a direction and walks forward a bit and stop every once in a while. Like, that's accurate.
That sounds right.
What are you doing to set this apart from all other farming games?
What I had in mind when we were designing this, I would have what you grew and what you sold be dynamic in terms of market system. So what you're selling to your buyers would affect prices over the long term, what you could buy from them, things like that.
Okay, so first thing you'll notice is the giant Unity watermark that won't go away. Okay, so let's see what I can show you here. We've got our clock in the top left, and if I wanted to sleep, say I wanted to sleep 10 hours, I sleep 10 hours and it goes up 10 hours. And then if I sleep 24 hours, it'll change to the second day. Right now, this right here is just our way for us to reset the game when we're testing things. Our currency's right here, and obviously stamina. So here's our inventory, which looks really weird right now because we've been debugging it, because when we sell things, we want to look at the entire inventory to see what problems are going on. So if I say buy tomato, okay, that adds a tomato, which is good. Sell tomato, sells it. I sell my tomato seeds, that added tomato seeds.
Also, this whole moving around thing, once we actually finish testing it, this overlay is going to be a menu that you go into. So moving the mouse will not move the camera. This is just everything is visible on screen at the same time because it's easier to work with in-game. But
right now we're waiting for our art assets, but until then, we have the code anyway done for the cropping. So if I till these, wait, I gotta restart these. All right, so there it is. Bring my hoe out. And if I till these, you can see the model changes a little bit. That's just our placeholder model for tilled soil. And you can see that our stamina went down a little bit. So now I'm going to switch to corn seeds, plant 2 corn seeds, and then 2 tomato seeds. And right now I just have them turn green until we have the actual model. So I know that it's actually working. And then we switch to a water bucket, and they become blue. And now, at this point in the game, you would go take care of your chickens or your cows or anything, but since none of that's working yet, we're just going to go ahead and sleep 12 hours for these to get ready again. So, the crops right now are in debug mode. They're supposed to take about 3 days of watering twice a day. If you overwater them, they will die, and if you underwater them, they will die. But for now, I just have them set up so 1 water for the tomatoes, I believe, and they're good. So I switch to my hands and pick up the tomatoes, and you can see in the inventory, 2 tomatoes were added. So now the soil turned black, which means it needs to be tilled. So I switch to my hoe, and I till it again, and now it's ready to be planted. So I think these are corn over here. So if I sleep 1 more time, now the corn's ready to be harvested. And grab that, and that adds corn to my inventory. And if I had a good market system working, I could sell all of my corn, but right now I can just sell the tomatoes, and that added to my currency. And in turn, I can buy more seeds, and then I started being able to see a profit. And if I switch out of the game right here, I'll give you an overview of the world. All right, so until we get our art assets, I just use textures to show where things are going to be. Right here is going to be your house. This is going to be the tool shed. This is the original plot of land you start out with. And this texture back here is, I'm going to turn it into a hill or something that you can't plan in. And then in the market, you can pay a groomer or whatever to come over and make that into plantable land, and then this thing will grow, and you can have, say, like a 50 by 2 plot of land here. And the same thing is going to happen right here. This is going to be like a swamp or something that you have to pay people to fix. This right here is going to be your barn, and the fence going into the water for the animals, like the cows. This is the chicken coop. This is a swamp over here that you can upgrade at the market to turn into more grass for your animals to graze on. Over here is going to be the dirt road to the market, where you'll be able, you can't just like hit escape to go to the market. You have to actually walk over, go over, and interact with your car, and that's when it activates the market. Over here is going to be the forest. I have the elevation for it all set. We had a tree, but right now it's just a stick with a ball on top because our artist didn't have a pen yet. So that's all set. In there is going to be flowers and little pickups. So if your entire farm goes south, you can still go to the forest and have somewhat of a small, steady thing of income so that the game doesn't completely ruin you. A river in the middle. I could show you guys code right now if you want, but we have just a lot of framework done with not a lot of art assets to show for it yet, and a lot of problems that's holding us back. But I didn't update. The Unity has a asset, not asset server. Asset server. So when we finish something, we can commit to the server, and then either of us can update and get all of the other So this should be the chicken. So what the chicken was doing last night anyway is it's a box that moves and kind of shifts a little bit direction, so it's not good AI, but it kind of looks like a chicken that moves. And then every once in a while it'll lay an egg. What eventually is going to happen is you have to feed the chicken once a day. If you feed it every day, the next day it will lay an egg. And if you don't feed it after 2 days, the chicken will die. We'll be able to have, I think, up to 5 chickens. And if you buy a rooster, then the rooster can impregnate the female chicken, and then you get eggs that are fertilized, and then you don't have to buy chickens. They just are born, but you can't eat those eggs. And then the way the cows are going to work is same kind of way. You feed them twice a day, and you don't have to milk them every day, but if you don't milk them in, say, like 3 days, they will die. And then you can sell their milk, obviously, and that will be a big source of income. And then obviously the cows and the chickens can get sick. And if it rains and you leave your animals outside, they'll get sick and they might die. So there's going to be a lot of weather things in the game and unexpected things that happen to your farm. And apparently, I saved over the project file for the chicken. The code's there, but I guess the prefab for the chicken is great, so we're going to add that back later. And we just bought Unity yesterday. We were on the student free trial, but we just bought it because we're going to need it for game development this semester anyway. So now we have a lot more features to use in the game. Any other questions?
Maybe one more quick thing. If you need help with chicken AI, I am a chicken expert.
All right, awesome.